Welcome back to Marvelous Videos. I'm Rylan. The malevolent organization Weapon X first appeared in the Incredible Hulk comic issue number 180 in 1974. The primary agenda of this organization was to supply weaponized super soldiers to serve the US military forces. The Weapon X program was an offshoot of the Weapon Plus program, which gave birth to Captain America and codenamed Weapon 1. Over the period, the organization grew nefarious and forcefully conducted brutal experiments on individuals, mostly mutants. Instead of creating strength-enhancing serums, they involved tampering with their students' DNA, or even adding obscure capabilities by force. We are all aware of what it had done to Wolverine. The adamantium coating was indeed a very painful process, and was only successful because Wolverine's healing abilities surpassed the damage that it caused to him. There are many other characters who were either a product or subjected to this program's experiments. So, in today's video, we'll be talking about all the female ones. So, without any further delay, let us begin exploring our list of 11 female Weapon X test subjects and agents. Okay, before we go into our explanation, however, we have a very small request. If you like our content, then please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is just a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thanks. Now, let's begin. X-23. Created by Craig Kyle and Chris Yost, Laura, also known as X-23, made her debut in NYX issue 3, published in February of 2004. She also appeared in the movie Logan, released in 2017. It's pretty evident from her powers that she is somehow linked to Wolverine, which was not precisely explained in the film. In the comics, Dr. Martin Suter, who was previously a part of the original Weapon X program, sought to create a clone of Wolverine. After numerous failures, he recruited Dr. Sarah Kinney, an expert in the field of genetics. However, even with her assistance, the clone could not be created, as most of the obtained DNA samples from the Wolverine were damaged, especially the Y chromosomes. After 22 attempts, Kinney suggests that Dr. Martin create a female one, which was the only option without the Y chromosomes. Suter initially denied this, but later accepted with the condition that Dr. Kinney would conceive the cloned embryo. She ultimately gave birth to X-23 after 9 months of surrogacy. After keeping the infant under surveillance for 7 months post-birth, they began treating her with radiation to cause the mutant traits to show up. Following this, they extracted her claws, fused them with adamantium, and then placed them back. They conducted this entire brutal procedure without anesthesia. Suter's former protege, Dr. Xander Rice, added a trigger scent, at which X-23 went wild and berserk. Meanwhile, a serial killer kidnapped Dr. Sarah's niece, and she assigned X-23 to rescue her without the knowledge of Dr. Suter or his protege. X-23 killed the kidnappers and saved Dr. Sarah's niece, but it came at a cost, as Dr. Rice terminated Dr. Sarah from the Weapon X program. Without Dr. Sarah in the base, Xander started conspiring the murder of Dr. Suter and his family. He used X-23 to execute his plan secretly, but the news soon reached Dr. Sarah. Rice was also experimenting on new clones, X-24 and X-50, in the hopes of creating X-23-like mutants. Assessing the forthcoming danger, Dr. Sarah wrote a letter to X-23 instructing her to destroy the 2 pods containing the new clones, which she did and then reunited with Sarah. The 2 planned on escaping, but were unfortunately confronted by Dr. Rice, who activated the triggered scent for X-23. Soon, X-23 lost control over her mind and killed Sarah. Before taking her last breath, she told X-23 that her name was Laura and that she had loved her. She handed her a picture of the Xavier Institute, along with its members, and a letter. Being a clone of Wolverine, X-23 nearly had identical powers and abilities like that of his. For example, she possessed the regenerative healing power to heal her from any lethal damage. It is yet to be known if X-23 could regenerate her body parts, but her powers made her immune to any earthly disease. Like Wolverine, she had acute senses, which helped her track her opponents. She also had an adamantium-coated endoskeleton, but unlike Wolverine, she only had 2 claws on each of her wrists. X-23 is an important addition to this because of her extreme martial arts skills and expertise in covert operations. Native was a fear-like female mutant who was once a test subject for the Weapon X program. Created by Greg Rucka and Derek Robertson, she made her first appearance in the official handbook of the Marvel Universe, Wolverine 2004, issue 1. During the Weapon X program, another female candidate was experimented on, along with Wolverine. Both of them were subjected to immense brutal torture, until one day, they managed to escape. Attaining freedom, the two spent time in a cabin in British Columbia, Canada, and fell in love. Not much is known after that, but they did part their ways as Native was living alone in Vancouver. She was soon spotted by an offshoot of the Weapon X program led by Victor Creed, also known as Sabretooth. Creed and two other ops agents tried capturing her, but the mission went horribly wrong as she incapacitated Creed and ruthlessly killed the two agents. With failed results, Sabretooth tried tracking down Logan. He knew about how desperate Logan was to know about his past, using which he manipulated Logan in order to track down Native. Being far more superior to Creed in tracking his targets, he found Native first. Despite Logan's attempts to calm Native down, she viciously attacked Logan. Logan found two name tags in Native's cabin, one being that of Wolverine. Native attacked him again, after which the two fought with everything they had. All this while Logan was being followed by Sabretooth, who shot the two of them at the base of their spines and rendered them unable to walk. When he was about to shoot Logan at point blank, a healed and vengeful Native stabbed Creed in the groin and eyes. Soon, several soldiers from Creed's organization arrived and attacked Logan and Native, who fought with all their effort. Unfortunately, Native was gassed and Logan was immobilized, following which Native was taken away by the strike team, who delivered her to a facility known as Workshop, found in Montana. There, she was operated on by Dr. Viper, who poisoned her with a small radioactive particle that inhibited her healing process. He then started removing her genetic material and selling them to potential other parties. Following up with a few blood results, he learned that Native was pregnant from her encounter with Logan. Logan cluelessly kept searching for her until Sabretooth arrived and extended his support, stating that he wanted to get back at his employers. This was again a part of Sabretooth's new trick. He wanted to sell Logan out to his employers, which was part of his contract from the very beginning. Before going to Viper, Logan took down Creed by ramming his claws through his skull and stating that they can never become partners. Logan found Native and learned about the radioactive article and her pregnancy. Logan removed the radioactive substance from Native's body, after which she quickly becomes healed and quietly killed Dr. Viper. After escaping from the facility, Native denied moving forward with Logan, as she couldn't believe herself to be living among mutants. Native pulled away from Logan without his notice and tried living secluded. Both Wolverine and Sabretooth tried tracking her, only for the latter to reach her first and kill her ruthlessly. Being a part of the same program, Native also had similar abilities to Wolverine. She had superhuman strength and enhanced senses, along with excellent hand-to-hand combat skills. She had 6 claws, unlike Wolverine, who had only 3. Despite being able to heal from severe wounds at an astonishing speed, she was not immortal and could be killed with repeated injuries. Silver Fox. Created by Chris Claremont and John Buscema, Silver Fox was first introduced in Wolverine Volume 2, issue number 10, published in August of 1989. She was a member of the Blackfoot Native American tribe and grew up in the Canadian Rockies near the town of Mount Logan, Yukon. She was shown to have a relationship with Logan until one day Creed, as sent by his master Romulus, mercilessly killed her in her cabin. Logan desperately carried Silver Fox's body to the town, where he met Creed, boasting about his deed. Infuriated at his loss, Logan tried killing Sabretooth, but failed, following which Creed and Romulus brainwashed Logan and made him believe that the townspeople of Mount Logan were responsible for the death of Silver Fox. Later, sometime in 1960, Silver Fox, or someone impersonating her, resurfaced as a newly joined member of the CIA Black Ops team known as Team X, along with Logan and Sabretooth. Unbeknownst to them, this organization was a cover-up for the joint military operation of Canada and the US, also known as the Weapon X program. Weapon X programs frequently tampered with the subject's memories with the aid of cinematographic sets and other advanced technologies. Logan had no clue about the incident where Sabretooth had killed Silver Fox in his cabin. In one of the several different fake memories of Silver Fox, there was one that showed Logan ditching her at the prom night. She recalled these glimpses of memories and betrayed her team during a mission to Palma Soriano, Cuba in 1963, following which she left the team and joined the Cuban revolutionaries. Weapon X had totally lost track of her following, and they removed all memories of Silver Fox from the other team members and implanted them with new fake ones. The criminal mastermind Aldo Ferro again altered Logan's memories, where he showcased Silver Fox being a terrorist working at Windsor Warehouse. In a turn of events, Silver Fox was eventually killed by Sabretooth once again, and this time being controlled by Aldo Ferro, but it was later revealed that the real Silver Fox was the one who was killed long back by Creed on Logan's birthday, and this was actually a clone of hers. Silver Fox was an excellent combatant and an expert in using firearms. She also had rapid healing and an age suppression factor. It has yet to be confirmed if her healing factor was given to her or if she had it before Weapon X. Lady Deathstrike. Appearing for the first time in Daredevil issue 197, published in April of 1983, Yuriko Oyama, or Lady Deathstrike, was created by Dennis O'Neil and William Johnson. She was a cyborg with a self-repairing machine body with deadly adamantium claws. Her father was an insane Japanese man who had invented the process of fusing adamantium with a human skeleton, and finding Wolverine with the same enhancement infuriated her. She soon became obsessed with Wolverine and sacrificed her humanity to make a deal with Spiral, the exquisite witch, to transform her into Lady Deathstrike, a lethal weapon like Wolverine. Associating herself with the mutant-hating militant William Stryker, she frequently opposed Wolverine and his X-Team until she became a target for a rebranded Weapon X program seeking to weaponize altered subjects for them. Fortunately, she was rescued by a team of similar victims and later adopted the name Weapon X for their group. Lady Deathstrike had allowed herself to be transformed into a cyborg, for which she had a wide range of abilities. Her extendable razor-sharp claws could elongate up to 12 inches, and her entire body was coated with adamantium. After receiving an upgrade from Donald Pierce, she possessed a regenerative healing factor that worked miraculously for both her organic as well as her machine parts. She had superhuman strength, reflexes, stamina, and speed, along with cyberpathy. She wielded a 5-foot-long electromagnetically tempered steel katana and a high-powered long-ranger blaster that could fire explosive bullets with great efficiency. Kimura. Kimura first appeared in the new X-Men issue number 31. She was born to an abusive father and a careless mother and experienced bullying in school as well. Kimura's grandma eventually took up the role of her caregiver, but it was too late. Kimura suffered irreparable mental damage, and nothing she did could heal them. Later, after her grandfather experienced a terrible heart attack, Kimura departed on her own. She later encountered the Facility, a division of the Weapon X project, and underwent a number of treatments there that gave her physical invulnerability, density control, and rebuilding. She developed a harsh attitude and began exacting retribution on those who had harmed her. She became X-23's handler and was quite harsh with her because of her personality and immunity to adamantium claws. Kimura had become accustomed to her cruel father's behavior over the years, and so she frequently tormented X-23 for amusement. Kimura was developed primarily to compete with X-23. Except for adamantium, she could phase through the molecules of all other things. She could change her density at command, allowing her to alter her mass while maintaining a consistent volume. She also had psychic shields as well. Typhoid Mary. Created by Ann Nocenti and John Romita Jr., Mary Walker, also known as Typhoid Mary, was first introduced in Daredevil issue 254, published in May 1988. She was a gentle, timid girl with 3 other personas, Typhoid Mary being one of them. Her parents didn't want to have her, especially her father. He repeatedly assaulted her until one day, a different persona took control of her, and she rebelled. Since that day, her father never touched her. Her father's pain-inflicting behavior inspired her to create a new alter ego that granted her mutant-like skills. She had telepathy, pyrokinesis, and the ability to influence minds. When she was sent to an asylum, a new identity was created, and she was given the moniker Typhoid, since she consistently had a high temperature. Later, Typhoid broke out of jail, and Mary, the main identity, rose to fame as an actress. She eventually vanished and wound up at a brothel, where Matt Murdock, who would later become Daredevil, had arrived while pursuing a bad guy. The brothel's female patrons backed the criminal, and as a result, Matt shoved Mary out the window, where she fell and vowed never to be wounded by a man again, and became her alternate persona, Typhoid. Later on, Matt Murdock and Typhoid had a love connection. She fought Daredevil multiple times and worked for Kingpin. She later created Bloody Mary, a vicious, merciless character who detested all males. At once, Bloody Mary began executing all men who injured their female lovers. She entered a program that claimed to repair her out of shame and misery, with the help of a doctor named Michael Hunt. Project Psyche was the name of this project, and Hunt was in charge of it. This was a covert Weapon Plus program that eventually changed her into Mutant Zero, a character with access to the abilities of all 3 personalities. This included mind control, pyrokinesis, telepathy, and telekinesis. She engaged in combat with another of strong opponents, including Spider-Man, Wolverine, and Ghost Rider. Mutant Zero was first showcased in Avengers: The Initiative, issue number 5, published in August of 2007. Vanessa Carlyle, Copycat. Created by Fabian Nicieza and Rob Liefeld, Vanessa made her first appearance in New Mutants issue 98, published in December of 1990. She finally adopted the name of Copycat in Deadpool: The Circle Chase issue number 2, published in July of 1993. Vanessa was born with the ability to shapeshift, and later worked as a sex worker in Boston, Massachusetts. She later met the young mercenary Wade Wilson, and they fell in love. This was, however, short-lived, as Wade discovered his cancer and left her heartbroken. She eventually became a mercenary herself, working for the arms dealer Tolliver. She took the form of Domino in order to become a member of the new X-Force and spy on Cable. She replicated Domino's personality, fingerprints, and even her DNA, for which it was impossible for her teammates to spot the difference. Tolliver ordered Copycat to bomb the headquarters of the X-Force, but she denied it as she began liking her teammates. However, at some point, her teammates found out her reality and confronted her, following which she helped them fight Tolliver, where the real Domino was being held captive. Tolliver asks Deadpool to take her out, and the two had a fierce battle in San Francisco, California. Before things could get out of hand, Wolverine interfered and captured her. She was then taken to the Microverse by the emotion-manipulating Psycho Man, who wanted to get a hold of Kane's advanced technology. She was eventually rescued by Kane, Cable, Domino, and the other residents of the Microverse. Copycat's unique ability was that she could replicate anyone. Even Mystique could do that, but her replication process was on a whole new different level. Copycat could even replicate the DNA of her targets. Marrow. Sarah, also known as the Marrow, made her first appearance in Cable issue 15, published in July of 1994. Her character was created by Jeff Loeb, David Brewer, Scott Lobdell, and Joe Madureira. She belonged to the underground Morlock race, and later, for a brief period, joined the X-Men, where Wolverine served as her mentor. However, Sarah's unrestrained growth, which disfigured her and made her an outcast, was one negative. She joined Weapon X's research for a cure after they assured her that they had one. She was eventually misled as a result of their anti-mutant stance, even though it assisted her in seeking out the ideal and wholesome. She later joined the Hellfire Club, X-Cell, and then the X-Force. Sarah possessed a variety of abilities, the two main ones being hyper-accelerated metabolism and bone development. Her incredibly strong bone structure could resist powerful strikes without suffering any significant harm. Her capabilities also improved her strength, reflexes, and agility, and granted her the ability to heal. In addition, she had two hearts, which enabled her to live on when Storm tore out her own. Fantomelle. Fantomelle made her first appearance in Wolverine's issue number 2, published in January 2015. Created by writers Charles Soule and artist Juan Doe, Fantomelle was one of the most recent products of the Weapon X program. She was based on an aspect of Phantom X and then further genetically modified by Weapon X to enjoy risky thefts. At some point, she managed to escape the Weapon X facility, following which she began working solo. She was later approached by Mystique's crew regarding her help infiltrating Sinister's forces. Fantomelle was a master thief and could steal items from insanely protective facilities. She could cast illusions and could control her body's position across 6 different dimensions. Fantomelle also owned a pet fox named Culpepper. Aurora. Created by Chris Claremont and John Byrne, Jean-Marie Bouvier, also known as Aurora, made her first appearance in X-Men issue 120, which was published in January of 1979. She was born in Canada, along with her twin brother Jean-Paul. Following the death of her parents in a car accident, the two siblings were separated and raised without any knowledge of the other's existence. Jean was sent to an Orthodox religious institution named Madame Dupont's School for Girls, where she soon discovered her mutant abilities to fly. Being raised in a strict religious doctrine, she thought her abilities to be a gift of God and informed Suran, who punished her for blasphemy. Jean developed dissociative identity disorder, in which she was either a shy, timid, or repressed woman, and the other being an extrovert. She suffered from the disorder for the rest of her life, with no memory of what she did reverting back to Jean. Owing to this, she was further punished, and no one seemed to understand her problems. Both her personalities hated each other, and Jean somehow managed to complete school and began teaching. At some point, thanks to Wolverine, she united with her brother Jean-Paul and joined Alpha Flight with the code name Aurora. Things began happening in her favor as she balanced her personality well enough that she regressed back into her fractured mental state. She was admitted to a mental asylum and later freed by Wildchild on behalf of the Weapon X program. Weapon X helped her relieve her mental condition, and she began working for the organization wholeheartedly. Along with the power of flight, Aurora had a wide range of abilities. She could generate light as strong as the intensity of 1,000,000 foot candles. She had superhuman speed and could throw herself as fast as a moving projectile. She also had the unique ability to accelerate the molecules of any object, or even living being, simply by touching them. Aurora's activated metabolism helped her heal from wounds quicker than any other normal human being. With the aid of Lenkowski, Aurora was rendered invisible to any mutant gene scanning device. Endo. Created by writer Charles Soule and artist Salvador Larocco, Endo, also known as Mei Feng, was one of the victims of the experiments concerning the Weapon X program. under Abraham Cornelius. She made her first appearance in Death of Wolverine, the Weapon X program, issue number 1, published in November of 2014, but unfortunately met with her demise in Wolverine issue 18, published in May of 2015. Director Abraham Cornelius desperately wanted to create a better soldier than Wolverine, and so he conducted his experiments on various test subjects. After completing the process, Mei Fang and other subjects, led by Sharp, managed to escape the facility. Mei Fang intended to find her fiancé, but was confronted by 3 other Weapon X soldiers, who revealed her the truth from Cornelius's flies. It was revealed that Mei Fang was previously a man and was later transformed into a woman by Cornelius. Infuriated with rage, she tried freeing herself from her captors, which triggered her mutant abilities and transformed her into a massive hulking being. Mei Fang, also known as Endo, possessed superhuman speed, agility, reflexes, strength, and durability. She was also superior to most of Cornelius's test subjects in hand-to-hand combat. Conclusion. The Weapon X program had contributed to an exhaustive list of ultra-powerful beings, most of which went rogue or after their creators. Despite being a vicious organization and a contributor to many lethal criminals, the organization surprisingly managed to maintain its secrecy. We certainly hope you enjoyed our video today. Feel free to comment below on any more female characters that have been associated with the Weapon X program. It would be really interesting to watch these phenomenal female characters take over in the live-action films. Thanks again for watching today's episode of Marvelous Videos. If you enjoyed our content, then please leave us a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, have a good one and be safe.